Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina Hay and this is the Goddess Diaries. It's been a while since I've came on and made a video. So anyway, here I am. Today I'm going to talk about tarot and empowerment. Okay, so what I teach women is to empower themselves through the use of tarot. Yes, I know, like men can do tarot as well, and they are just as good and on an equal level. But I have decided to focus on women at this particular moment in time anyway. So one of the things that I want to talk about is how I got into tarot. And just to let you see how much that empowered me and how it can help you if you're watching. Okay, so a lot of people ask me what it is I do, how I got into it, so I thought I would just make a video and share that with everyone if they're interested. Okay, so I have been reading tarot professionally probably for about 6 or 7 years, although I had access to them before that. It's not that I wasn't interested, I just didn't do it. I just thought I can't do that and that was it. So I never really thought a lot more into it, if you know. Always had people around me, like friends or family, that had cards and things, and who would just like look up the meaning and go, oh, things like that. That would be about it. So my very first introduction to tarot was years ago. So it was probably about 1991, and it was a friend at the time who decided that she was going to bring her cards down to my house one night. I was like, okay, and she brought in the cards, which I was okay about, but she had this bag of books. And out she pulled this Aleister Crowley book, and straight away, I had kind of heard about him, but I wasn't really that interested in looking up about him or anything. A wee quick buzz, and I was brought up with my gran. My gran was such a wee holy woman. She really was. She was very Christian, although I wasn't brought up that way. She always let me have my own mind, so I could be into horror films, witches and everything else. She was okay with that, because that's just the way that she was. But there was always that part in me, that way you don't want to let anybody down that you really care about. So like the thought of looking into anything like that, although she would be raging, she would be so angry if she thought that I wasn't fulfilling something that I wanted to fulfill. Because of her belief, she would have been annoyed at that, But anyway, I was just like, no, get out of my house. I can't have anything like that in my house. Fast forward a few years, and I've become totally obsessed about them anyway, But so that was my kind of introduction to tarot. If she had brought the cards just on their own, I'd have probably been right into it and done it from then. But because she brought all these books, I was like, no. So a few years later, I got reintroduced to it by a friend, and loved it. I'll talk about that whole experience on another video when I'm discussing that whole part of it, because that's a kind of okay and weird story as well. But anyway, so when I got the cards. My friend brought her cards over, and it was quite good fun. I was reading for her and didn't know anything, didn't look up the meanings, and was quite kind of spot on. But I thought maybe I'm spot on because I know her, because that's the thing. If you know somebody and you know them really well, you know their energy, you know everything that's going on in their life, blah blah blah. So it's just me talking too much. So I decided to keep going with them anyway and keep practicing and keep learning, and I learned, which we'll get to in a minute. So I was learning these cards for years, and I was really enjoying it. But what I did realise is the more that I was reading them, the more that I was learning about them, the more that I was learning about myself. Okay, and when you learn so much about yourself, you can't help but become confident. Oh, itchy eye, hold on. You can't help but become more confident. Okay, not just in not just in your ability to read the card, not just in your knowledge, but within yourself, because you actually start to find out who you are as a person, what kind of values you have, what morals you have, and you may think that you have that already anyway, but when you're dealing with someone else and it comes to telling them something, helping them with something, almost predicting something, it becomes a different story. Okay, so what it did for me is completely grow my confidence. It gave me a bit of belief in myself. You know, I would always kind of go through life saying, "Oh, I can't do that," and I can't, and that was one of the words that I would use all the time. I would keep. I wasn't negative, but I wasn't overly positive at the same time. You know, so that helped. That grew. It made me look at life differently. It made me feel that I was in control of my life. I was super confident. I loved getting things right. I overthought everything that I got wrong. If I didn't get something, it would chew on my brain and it would really affect me. So I really had to work on myself. So that's all the ways that it will help you. Like, so when you get something, you're saying something to somebody and you get it right, it gives you a great feeling, you know, because especially if it's something that you don't know, when you get it wrong, you can really beat yourself up. But it's not a case of maybe you get it wrong. It's working with tarot. There isn't really a wrong or a right. Sometimes you'll pick up something that relates to something about that person or somebody who's close to that person, or you pick up something that it's not in their mind, because when someone comes to you for a reading, they already have an idea of what it is they're looking for out of this reading. So when you ask them something, it's not in a thought process, so you know what it's like yourself. If someone asks you a question, you're like, oh, I can't think, no, I can't think. And that's what it is, because when people come and they say, I want a reading, just give me a general reading, I usually then say to people, right, okay, well, we can waste a lot of time, which is not really a waste of time, but you know what I mean, we can go through all this time, we can use up your time with me just giving you this general reading, or you can tell me what it is you're looking for, and let's see what the cards have got to say, you know, but you can judge that when it comes. So there is not any right or wrong. Sometimes someone isn't really thinking, or they've not came across it yet. Also, okay, the other thing about tarot, the fear. We are more scared of the fear than we are of actually doing it. We overthink the process. We go through our mind, what if I don't get it right? What if I don't know anything? What if I don't? And if you keep telling yourself that, you're never going to do it. You know, when you are reading tarot cards, you've got to set yourself, you've got to set your scene. You have to, you know, like meditate, completely focus, ask your guides to come and help you. And you've really got to put all your concentration into doing this reading. All right, and if you are going into that reading with, well, I can't do it, that you're not going to be able to, because what you're doing then is just completely shutting yourself down and you're blocking it off. So that's the fear, right? So we have the fear of the fear. But once you get over that, again, you're absolutely fine, and it's so easy to get over it. It's just by pushing through it. Another thing, I've just got a wee list here, so I'm just making sure that I cover kind of a lot of things, and all these things do help empower yourself, you know. So because you're learning about yourself, you are learning to get over yourself, you're learning to trust yourself, you're learning to trust your intuition, and you learn the feelings that you get in your tummy. Like, if I'm doing someone a reading and I don't feel anything, then I know I'm maybe going down the wrong road, so I'll try another path. When I start getting kind of almost like a kind of flutter in my tummy, almost like a kind of nauseous type of feeling, I know I'm on the right track. So to me, that's my intuition screaming at me. So I'm like, okay, this is where I've got to go, and because I've learned to know how my body feels when I'm doing a reading, I can then follow its lead. So my intuition will guide me and lead me, and I just speak I just speak from my intuition and that's it. But that's something that you always have to learn. So when you learn to know yourself and you learn to trust yourself, everything flows. So that it makes you feel empowered. It gives you so much confidence. It's like, you know, if I ask you something about a pair of shoes that you absolutely love, I always go back to shoes when I come to these things, but a pair of shoes that you love, you know, oh, it's amazing, and you can describe them. So that's the way that you'll eventually learn to be with tarot. So, is getting a reading wrong really a thing? I don't think so. I think people make it a thing, and it's not really. It's not really. So sometimes people will be able to pick things up. Sometimes people will be able to remember things when you're asking them questions. I've had readings like that where, and especially even from people that I know, when I ask them questions, they'll be like, no, no. And I'm like, oh no, again, my intuition's screaming at me and it's pulling, and I'm, you know, I've got these butterflies going. I'm like, no, look, I really do know that I'm on the right road. And then it's after the reading, when you sit and chat to them, because you always have to do aftercare, is when they'll go, well, yeah. And I'll go, why didn't you say that in the reading? And it's because they've came in through chatting to them. They've came in. And you learn this over time, because the more experience you get at reading, the more you'll be able to see this, right? So, and that's because they've came in with a preconceived idea of how this reading's going to go, the questions that they're going to ask, and the things that they're going to find out. I'm using my phone and I am getting messages galore and it's cutting off the screen. And, you know, so you learn to find the things out. Their brain is not registering anything you're saying, because they're waiting for you to say the things that they want to hear. And tarot isn't about giving people, telling people what they want to hear. Tarot will deliver the message that they think the person should know. You know, so even when they ask a question, sometimes that isn't even what the tarot wants to tell them. They're already mushing their energy into your cards, so the cards like almost mushing with theirs. So they already know that not always the things that they're asking is the things that they need to know. If that makes sense. I'm a bit skeever from tongue-tied, but however, that kind of thing. So we'll move on to the thing, overthinking. Okay, don't overthink. We all do it. We have all done it at some point. So the overthinking thing is, sometimes when we're doing something before a reading, we'll overthink, oh, how will this reading go? What will the person be like? What will their energy be like? What they want to know? But if I don't know what they want to know, and you can't do that. You have to. Well, you can do it. But you're not going to do yourself any favours. You know, go into the reading as relaxed as you can be, so that everything can just flow. All right. But overthinking is normal. It's absolutely fine. So if you go into these panic modes, just know that you just need to breathe. Just go into a meditation. Ask your guys to come and help you. And the minute you touch the cards, it'll all go. Okay. So it's perfectly normal to overthink. Just try learning not to. Your mind will do exactly what you tell it to do. Okay, so as much as you go into overdrive, it will also chill out. All right. So, right, what's the other thing? Talking yourself down. Talking yourself out of doing it. You have bought your tarot cards. You have the passion. You have the love. You've had all the hours. You've had all the months and all the years and everything else that you've poured into these cards and learning these cards, and then you don't do it because you think you're going to get it wrong, or it's something, or just whatever the excuse is. You may think that, you know, people will come with a negative attitude. It could be anything that you're thinking, right? But regardless of the excuse, try not to talk yourself down. You have put so much work into learning these cards. Don't talk yourself out of doing it because of what you think someone else might say. If someone's came to you, they've came to you because they're looking for some kind of guidance and some kind of help, okay? And they've chosen you, they've felt drawn to you, all right? So let that leave you with a comfort, okay? Keeping it real. Always keep it real. if someone comes to you and you genuinely can't pick anything up, which has never happened to me, and I don't think it really I don't really think that is a thing. Just sometimes you're not getting a great energy, right? Still keep it real. Don't look for something to say to them, because sometimes that energy is coming from the person who's come for the reading. All right, they might think, oh, you know, let's go to this reading, we'll see if they really do know something, they can really tell me what I want to know, or they can really tell me what I've done before. I need them to tell me something that only I would know. This is why I never advertise myself as a psychic reader, which is fine for anybody else doing that. That's okay. I don't, because I don't say I'm a medium, and I don't say that I can predict the future. I don't say anything like that at all. People are coming to me for a reading, they know exactly that they're coming for a guidance reading, because that's what they want. If you're coming for me to prove my abilities to you, why would you want to go to somebody and pay them money for that? I have had a few people in my time come to me, probably because they know me or they know the person that they're coming with, just to see if I do know. I don't know, I think I have better things to spend money on than trying to prove somebody wrong, or just to find out if somebody does know something. You know, I can imagine if you've done that all the time through your life, that doesn't say anything about you. So if that ever happens, you'd be able to pick up the energy straight away. It's a completely different energy, and you would know that energy as soon as you felt it. And that says more about the person, right? So when you do find that kind of energy, and you find that someone has come, and you know that's what their kind of agenda is, you can tell by their body language, you can tell by the things that they're saying to you as well. And then what you have to think is, right, okay, out of everybody that comes here, this person really does need this. They either really need it because they've got something going on in their life that they don't want to say out loud, and they need you to find that thing. You don't have to pinpoint it exactly, but you have to. They almost need you to find the thing that they can't say, and they will break at that point. So don't please. So that is my thing. It's like, don't take offence if people come and do that, okay? But always keep it real. Don't look for things to say. If you're struggling to pick something up from someone, you just be honest and you say, I'm sorry, but the energy isn't right, and I can't do the reading. Making money from readings. Now, don't ever worry about anyone commenting to you, or you thinking about, how am I meant to charge people for this? You have to look at it this way. Would that person go and work for someone else for free? Would they do that? No, they wouldn't. Would you go to anyone else who's put years of study into an art, into whatever it is they're doing? Would you go and say it doesn't matter that you've put all those years into studying? You should provide that service for free. You wouldn't do that. So you don't ever have to feel that you have to provide your service for free. People will say, well, it's a gift, you shouldn't be charging. Well, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be able to be a brain surgeon. I wouldn't be able to be a plastic surgeon. I wouldn't be able to be a dentist. I don't have the thing in me that I need to do to go and do that. I'm not saying I'm not clever enough for it. I just don't have the thing in me that makes me want to go to university for years to become a GP or become a surgeon, consultant, anything like that. But I have put years and years and years of studying and work into myself and into my craft, and into my tarot, that I'm not providing that service for free, because when I'm using that, I'm using all my energy. And it can be quite exhausting after reading. You know, you could be mentally drained as well because you're picking up in energies, you're working with that person. And if that person's come to you because they need help in their life, that's a lot of energy to take on, to work with. Don't ever feel bad for having an exchange and for charging for things. If you wish to give free readings, that's completely up to you. But don't ever feel guilty for charging money. All right. That's just probably about all the things that I would say when you're learning tarot. These are all the things that I teach people. So I'm teaching them how to empower themselves. So I help people to empower themselves through tarot because of the confidence that it gives you, because of the freedom that it gives you, because of the time freedom that it gives you when you run it as a business. The fact that you're helping others heal, the fact that you're helping others find answers and find clarity in the things that they're looking for. You're giving guidance. When you're healing others, you're healing yourself. Okay, so it's all of those things. This is what's empowering. Okay, you learn to value yourself. You learn to know your worth. You learn to validate yourself. Okay, and that is the best gift that you can ever give yourself. I'll go back to one thing just now, and I've looked to just check my list. Yeah, I covered the freebies. That was a bit at the bottom, and cold reading. So that was my introduction to tarot. These are all the things that made me love tarot. I came to tarot at a point in my life when I absolutely needed it. I was very low. I had very low confidence. I was very insecure. And I wasn't feeling empowered at all. So by learning tarot, I started to learn about myself and give myself the strength to start changing the way that I wanted to live my life. And this is the values and the empowerment and the validation that I give to others. What other gift could you give? The best gift you could give yourself is empowerment. Okay, and doing this through tarot means that not only are you finding you're on a life journey. Whether you choose to read tarot as a profession, or you just want to do it for yourself and for friends and family, the strength that it gives you, knowing that you're healing and you're helping other people, it leaves me speechless. It leaves me speechless. So I'm going to leave that here with you. I do tend to ramble a wee bit, so I hope I don't ramble on too much. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I've actually got quite a few videos that I'm going to be doing. So, excuse me. If you like this content, please give me a wee thumbs up and subscribe. Whatever the button is, please subscribe. Come back for more. I'm going to be sharing lots of my witchy and tarot journey with you. And I'll see you later. Thank you.